Here's another look at those water buffalo. You can get a closer look at that mud sunscreen. All right, so these guys walking up to say hello to you are our llamas. They are from Central and South America. You might have heard a nasty little rumor about these guys, so you may think that they are going to spit at you, but don't worry, llamas don't actually do that. Now, what they might do if they feel threatened is reach down into one of their three stomachs, grab some food they chewed up earlier, aim for your eyes, and projectile vomit. And they do that because their yummy stomach acid causes a burning sensation in the eyes of whatever predator is after them, and it gives them a couple extra seconds to get away.
Okay, let's somebody else please. You want to try one more? Hold your hand up there. See if they come up.
All right, so it looks like the rest of our llama herd is enjoying their mid-afternoon nap. But it looks like the rest of our animals have decided to hang out in our next two fields of the tour. We're going to turn this bus on and see if we can find them.
This is only 40 miles from the capital. Very nice place. If you have a family kids, then it's really nice place. Weather is really hot right now. If you want to come to Pennsylvania, place here like Oxy, this park, animal park view, everything you can see now. Like, very beautiful place in America. This is on landed to north. You are watching this like comment. I really want that side.
On the other side of this pinch point, we are going to pass our holding barn. This is where animals will go if they need a little veterinary care or if they're waiting for their enclosures to be built. This is often the safest place to house them. We have exotic animal vets that visit us at least once a month, as well as 24/7 on-call vets just in case. So to our right, we are once again passing that white-tailed deer enclosure. According to the Pennsylvania Game Commission, we have about 1.5 million white-tailed deer in our state. That is the second largest population in the U.S., right behind Texas. Their enclosure is about 12 acres, and it stretches all the way towards our next field, the East Field. It can get a little bit windy up here, so hold on to your hats. So while we're up in the East Field, I'd like to go over a little bit of park history. Our founder, Mr. J.R. Tobias, was a former U.S. Marine. His wife, Polly, was a former U.S. Army woman. And these two veterans started all kinds of businesses from their property. They had a flourishing dairy business. They used to own that John Deere dealership that you can see as you enter and exit the park. And Mr. J.R. Tobias also enjoyed some excavating. That is a really fancy way to say he liked to dig holes in the ground. That's actually where we get our name. All of the lakes you see on our property are man-made by Mr. J.R. Tobias himself, including that large lake in the center that's about 40 feet deep. But Mr. Tobias' true passion was wildlife. So on a trip to Kansas in 1964, he decided that he was going to take the family station wagon and fill it with as many baby animals as he got 11 of them in there, including a baby bison. Those became the first of over 700 animals now housed on our wildlife park, which sits on about 200 acres of land. 150 of those acres you are driving through right now on the safari tour. So his neighbors loved to come and visit and learn about these animals, which inspired Mr. J.R. Tobias, just 1 year later in 1965, to open Lake Tobias Wildlife Park to the public. We are a family business, which means that, unfortunately, after Mr. J.R. Tobias and his wife Polly passed away, they had to pass on this business, and they did so to their 6 surviving children and even some of their 17 grandchildren. The family now works as a team to own and operate the wildlife park, which is fully publicly funded. That means everything you see here today, all of our day-to-day operations, take care of each and every one of our animals, and our personal paychecks come straight from you guys. So we'd like to say thank you for choosing to spend your day with us here at Lake Tobias. We hope you have a great day. So over on our right, we do have a 2-day-old bison calf that just stood up over there. We have another one just up ahead hanging out with his mom. So we're going to talk about our bison here, as well as our yaks. All of our, ew, bug in my mouth. Sorry. All of our cattle, and we might say hello to our elk. If we do, elk have some large antlers. Reminder, please do not touch, pet, or grab the antlers. They are very sensitive. If I see this happen, we have to leave those animals early. But first, I'm going to start with The shortest and shaggiest of these animals are Himalayan yaks. Now, unlike me, who just got cursed with genetics, they are short for a reason. Their compact structure allows them to better balance on and climb the steep slopes of the Himalayan mountains in Tibet, where they're native to. Watch out for our longhorn's horns. He is our worst culprit of swinging them around like they are not, in fact, attached to his head. Now, the Tibetan people use just about every part of the yak, up to and including their poop. That poop is full of methane, which is a flammable gas, and it's used as a biofuel to start fires that will heat their homes and cook their food. I don't personally cook my food over yak poop, but I am very curious, so if anyone does want to try it, I'll tell you to do it, come back, and let me know how it went. Now, on this side of my bus, you're going to see two larger cows. One is laying down, one's standing up saying hello. Those are our Brahman cattle from India. Their names are Bert and Ernie. Now, Bert and Ernie are super duper sweet, and if they decide to come over and say hello, still watch the horns, but give them an extra scratch and snuggle, because these guys produce an oil on their skin that works like a natural bug repellent to keep mosquitoes away. Now, these reddish brown and white speckled cows that you're going to see everywhere here are our Watusi cattle. They are the oldest domesticated cattle species. They are from Africa. Their horns can reach up to 17 inches in diameter, which might make you think that they are thick and heavy, but that's just not true. The inside around the bony core is shaped like a honeycomb, which allows them to be a little bit lighter. But typically each horn is anywhere between 10 and 20 pounds. Yep, watch out for those horns on the star of our cattle show here today. Big Tex, our Texas Longhorn. Big Texas horns from tip to tip are just over 7 feet in length. That might sound huge, but the record for one of these guys is actually 10 feet 9 inches. So sometimes as a joke, we do call him Little Tex. Yep, be very careful. He swings his head around very quickly. Now looks like hiding out a little bit underneath this set of branches here. We have our newest cow here on the Lake Tobias property. This is our new Scottish Highland steer. His name is Duncan. In case you're wondering, yes, he loves donuts. You might have guessed from his breed name, but Duncan is from Scotland. Now, over in Scotland, the Highland cow is bred mostly for their beef and their milk. They are a very hardy cattle species, but here in America, we mostly breed them for show. They're also known as the hippie cow because, as you can see on Duncan, they have some shaggy bangs that cover their eyes. Now, finally, we're going to talk about these North American bison. You've already seen both of their calves. We try not to stop next to a mom and a calf, especially when they are this young, because we don't want to stress mom out, and we really don't want those babies underneath the bus. Now, the bison used to number over 60 million roaming across our western plains. However, they were unfortunately overhunted by the colonizers, trying to starve out our Native American population. At one point, they were down to the mere tens of thousands and very close to extinction, which forced our U.S. government to step in and ban the killing of these guys altogether. Their herd sizes are doing much better today, but still nowhere near where we used to be. I can see just on the other side of one of our Watusi, we do have a Watusi calf as well, about a month old.
Drop it down, honey. Drop it on the ground. Drop it on the ground.
Alright, so very few animals will make sure that the elk do not steal the spotlight. The cows are one of those because of those big horns. So we're going to pull forward just slightly, and we're going to say hello to our North American elk. Once again, please do not touch, pet, or grab the antlers. They are very sensitive. All right, so as we pull forward, please watch out for all of our horns. We don't want anyone to get hurt. need everybody seated, please. Come on, man. So like I said, these guys here are our North American elk. They are the second largest of the deer species, right behind the moose. Looks like we're going to have a few of our bulls, that's what we call our males, come over to say hello. They're going to show you their lovely antlers with all that velvet on them. Velvet is that fuzzy material, and it is about as sensitive as a nerve ending. Now, velvet is actually what's allowing those antlers to grow very rapidly. It's attached to thousands of blood vessels that are bringing blood flow, oxygen, and nutrients to those antlers, which allows them to grow up to an inch per day. Now, not only will touching the velvet hurt the animal, but it can actually cause those blood vessels to burst open, start bleeding, which would stop that antler from growing. That would then mean you are the reason he doesn't get a girlfriend this year, and he won't be very happy about that. That male towards the back of our bus might look a little different. You might think that he is white or albino, but he's not. This is actually what we call a leucistic animal. So unlike albinism, where there's a complete lack of pigment, leucistic animals get to keep most of it, except for melanin. That's the same pigment that decides our human skin color, whether it's darker or lighter. Now, a great way to tell the difference between those two conditions is to look at the animal's eyes. Typically, albino animals have a red or pink eye, whereas our leucistic ones get to have a darker tint, typically blue or hazel, but some of them get a nice dark brown like the rest of our elk. Now, that extra pigment in the eye actually helps to protect them. So, unfortunately, a lot of albino animals end up going blind due to their condition. But the extra pigment in a leucistic animal helps to keep their eyesight a little bit better. Now, also hanging out with our elk, you can see some smaller deer. These are some of our European fallow deer. That's right, fallow deer. So we have anywhere between 150 to 300 of them on the safari tour. You're going to see them throughout the rest of the tour. So you can't see it very well because we are still very early in velvet. However, once they grow out a little bit, they're going to look a little something like this. So fallow deer have what's called a palmed antler. We call it that because it looks like the palm of your hand. Unlike our white-tailed deer and these elk with their pointed antlers, you don't count by those spikes, or what we call points, to tell if you have a trophy buck. You're going to count by the width of the widest part of their antler. So about 9 inches across is considered a trophy for them.
Hurry, he's going to start breathing.
So, are those sunglasses like in front of the tire right now, or did we already run them up? Who was it that put on those sunglasses? Are they still like in front of the tire, or did we already run them up? I can't see them. They went underneath. They did go underneath. So I can't promise if they're going to be in great condition, but I do kind of want to stick around as much as I can just to make sure nothing eats them. She's coming. And I can hear the gator coming out. So. Well, boss.